Hey, today is September 2nd, and that means we have count them, 9 more days to the beginning of the 2017 school year for the homeschool music classes at Kay's Music Studio. And as I told you yesterday, when I was a very young child, the Lord put in my heart the desire to want to be a band director. And it didn't make any sense for anybody else to put it in there. God had to put it in there. And I loved band. I had a very difficult, not a very good band in high school. But that kind of worked to my advantage because my band director let me direct the band, and he taught me all kinds of things. So it was a great experience. I graduated from high school with the dream in my heart that the Lord put in to become a band director. And I went to 3 or 4 schools and looked at them to try to decide where to go. My mother really helped me. She said, I think you should go to Evangel. So I went to Evangel University in Springfield, Missouri. And I'll just give you one little tidbit of information that I find very, very interesting. The road that runs directly in front of the studio, that you turn off to get to the studio, that exact road was the road that my mother and I traveled every time to Evangel University. It was before Route 44 was completely finished. So I think it's kind of neat that I live on the same road that I went to school on. But I went to school and loved it. Oh, it's just the very best thing. I had never been in a circumstance like that. The presence of the Lord was there. Outside of Jesus and my mother, Evangel University made the biggest difference in my life. It gave me a wonderful Christian worldview. It gave me the desire to know the Lord better, and it gave me the desire to continue to foster the dream of being a band director. So after 2 years, I was home. This was back again in the early 1970s, something like that, 1974. And I needed to go to the doctor, and on the way to the doctor, I was in my little car, and on the way to the doctor, a trailer came off the back of a semi, hit me head on, and I spent almost a year in the hospital, almost a year in bed, and most of that time in the hospital. That dream was still there, but something had happened. Something had really changed my future. And I was hurt so bad that my mother called my grandmother, and Granny was a praying woman, and she called the preacher. And they said, the doctor says that Kay is really hurt bad, and even if she lives, it's not going to be good. She's going to be really messed up. I'm so glad I didn't know that at that time, because at that time, remember, I had been working in a nursing home between years at college, and I had seen people just like me who'd had car accidents, and they were messed up, and they didn't know what to do with them, so they just put them in a nursing home. I'm glad I didn't know that at that point, that was supposed to be my future. So my grandmother calls my preacher, sweet little old preacher. I doubt if he had a high school education, but he knew God, and he knew how to pray. And so my grandmother told me, she said, Brother Gagnon, Kay's been hurt really bad, and the doctor said she'll never be okay. He said, would you pray? And he said, yes. And as I tell you this, I'm telling you the truth. I don't need to exaggerate this. So he went down to pray, this little precious man. And he prayed and he said, Lord, we know that Kay is ready to go on. So please take her. And he couldn't get peace. And he thought, well, that's strange. So he went to praying a second time, Lord, we know she's ready, and we know that her life will be not a profitable life for anybody. It would be a very bad life. So go ahead and take her, Lord. We know where she's going. And again, he didn't get any peace. So the third time he prayed, and he said, Lord, I don't understand. I don't understand. She needs just to go on to be with you, because her life will be a waste. The third time when the preacher said that, the Lord said, wait, she's not going to die. I have something for her to do. 9 more days. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. God bless.